go to my next story, which is about South Africa is investigating citizens who've been recruited into mercenary activities to fight for Russia against Ukraine. This is from Tanya Bironshina on the Kyiv Independent. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa ordered an investigation today on November 6th into the circumstances that led to the recruitment of 17 South African men for suspected mercenary activity in the Russian-Ukraine war. The South African president said its statement by SA News, the government official news agency. According to the statement, the South African government received distress calls from 17 men aged 20 to 39 who found themselves trapped in the Donbass region of Ukraine. 17 men, 16 of them from KwaZulu-Natal and one from Eastern Cape province, were lured into joining mercenary in the Russian-Ukraine war under the pretext of lucrative employment contracts. Hey, I'm going to pay you a lot of money. Just go die for Russia, the presidency said. South Africa's 1998 Foreign Military Assistance Act prohibits citizens and organizations from offering or rendering military assistance to foreign governments or participating in armed forces of foreign governments unless authorized by the South African government. Basically, you cannot hire mercenaries from South Africa. It's against their law. They have a law specifically against this, okay? If you want to be a mercenary, you have to do it legally in South Africa.
Yeah, you can't come back to South Africa. You can't live there. They will revoke your citizenship, theoretically, right?
Yeah.
I would
President
think so.
Ramaphosa has directed that an investigation be undertaken into the circumstances that led to the recruitment of these young men into what appears to be mercenary activity, the statement read. The South African government is working through diplomatic channels to ensure the return of these young men following the request for assistance to come home. The statement did not specify which side the men were fighting for. I think it's probably Russia. I think there's an option to volunteer to fight for Ukraine, but I feel like it's a Russian thing to convince other people. But maybe I'm biased. I will admit my bias. If it happens to be Ukrainians, it'll be on the corrections. They'll be on the corrections.
I will say this. The CIA probably has a lot of paid consultants over there.
So you think it's the CIA who's recruiting them?
The CIA has their own army. Yeah. And they recruit people.
And they're recruiting for Ukraine?
Right. Why would we use Americans for this shit? It's the CIA. We con people into it, right? We have something they want.
I mean, it sounds like they were just fighting on the front lines, though. They weren't being secret criminal, like seeking secret service members. Not secret, they weren't spying. It seems like they were just fighting on the front lines.
But from what I know about the CIA, which is not, I'm not an expert, they do have an army, and they do recruit foreign army people to be mercenaries. I mean, there's no other way to call it. You're paying them because you're a professional soldier. We need you. You're really good at this, and you retired from that friggin' service after 5 years of killing people for them. Here, come work for us. It's just one of them jobs that you never talk about. It's never a testimony in Congress.
Somebody else could be doing it too. Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the initial Iraq or Afghanistan invasion, there was a lot of CIA that were getting killed, like CIA soldiers. Hey, sorry, I'm interrupting your...
The statement did not specify which side the men were fighting for. However, since the start of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Moscow has been actively recruiting fighters from countries, often luring them with promise of employment or Russian citizenship. North Koreans make up the largest number of foreign fighters in Russia and Ukraine, but that was due to an actual treaty between North Korea and Russia, not, tricking people into joining a mercenary. According to the HUR, Ukraine's military intelligence, North Korea, the largest group of foreigners fighting for Russia are from... After North Korea, the largest group of foreigners fighting for Russia are Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Belarus, all countries that want to be part of the Russian Federation, except maybe Cuba is interested. I don't know much about Cuba and Russia and their
the Cuba-Russia pipelines existed since Castro took power because the United States didn't want Castro, so they ignored him. So it's never stopped. Sense. We're the only country with an embargo on Cuba. Nobody else has one. Canada doesn't. Mexico doesn't. I'm sorry.
Citizens of Syria, Serbia, Nepal, and some African countries have also participated in combat operations as part of a Russian-occupied unit, but their numbers are significantly smaller. But there you go. That's all the news. It's not really news. It's just like, hey, Russia might be. Can't confirm. Duping people in South Africa into joining the offensive, and then also making them break the law, right? It's against their act, their Foreign Military Assistance Act, to be helping another power in a conflict. So a felony, right. I guess. It's probably a felony.
Well, if you got a special skill, why not exploit it for money? At least you're putting your ass on the line at the same time, I would say. I mean, I would be anti-mercenary if they weren't drafting young kids to go into these wars and die for no fucking reason, okay? I'd be anti-mercenaries. I'd say let mercenaries fight it out. Let them kill each other. You know what I'm saying? They're good at it anyway. They make good videos, too. I'm sorry?
That's the end of the article. That's it. Is that your hypothetical? Let's only use mercenaries?
Oh. I was going to quote System of a Down. Why don't presidents fight in war? Why do we always send the poor?
Yeah, why can't Putin and Zelensky just do like a boxing match or something?
No, Zelensky's poor. Don't confuse him with an oligarch. Nah, have Putin just go try to invade Ukraine by himself. Just him and his karate lessons, or whatever the fuck he's got, a black belt and something.
Him and his horse.
Hey, he's got a black belt. He's one of them black belts, even. Whatever. Vampire. He's a fucking vampire.